Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. This is Huma Jamal. And we are having a live show with me. And today we are having a respected guest, Sir Aurangzeb Bhattu, who is by profession is a teacher, a lecturer. He is a PhD scholar as well. He is an editor of Sir. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam. Thank you for taking me in this session.
Hope you are doing well. So before moving towards our topic, sir, I would like to say you to introduce yourself briefly to our viewers so that they can know about you something more.
I have a very short introduction. I currently teach in Islamic University Bahawalpur, and I added the prelude, that is a forum that actually provides space to the writers who are deprived of from publishing their works, and their voices are not being heard. So I established a forum where we can publish the works of new writers and mostly unknown writers. This is the whole introduction of myself.
Okay. Well, so you are doing a very good job in a very young age, being a teacher, being a lecturer, and being an editor. You have started your career, and you are promoting others too for writing. You are encouraging them too. So, can you,
Yes,
sir, tell
this
me
was
something?
actually my sole purpose, because I was experiencing and I was looking that there is a lack of space for the people who want to contribute, especially in the field of literature. So I requested some of very respected friends who are here in Pakistan and somewhere outside Pakistan, like India, US, and Britain, to join me to bring a forum where we can give space to the people who cannot, afford the publishing in the paper. So we do not charge anything for publishing a new work, whether that is an established author or a very famous person or a very naive student. Even we are publishing the works of established authors like Usama Siddiq and many others. And similar, on the same time, we are publishing the works of the people who have just joined the university, but they have creative, urge, and critical point of view to write something. So yes, I consider that this is a achievement, as far as uh, I feel that I feel happy that I am doing something to promote especially Pakistani English literature.
Very good. Very well that you are promoting a Pakistani literature, Pakistani English literature you are trying to promote, and the best wishes for you. But before starting our formal session, which has a topic, so I would like to ask some general questions to you about your city. Kindly tell our viewers about your city, from where you belong, and what is the specialty of your city.
Actually, this is not a big city. This is just like a town, and I do not belong to that specifically to that town. I actually live in a village that is a very ancient. That is an ancient village that was
Yes.
established or founded 800 years ago by my ancestors, whom I feel great admiration and an honor to be in that lineage. That village is Chakoka, and the people are still attached with the primitive customs there. They live a life that is very close to the past centuries, and still that is not a very modern place. If I talk about the city where I studied and now teaching, that is Bahawalnagar, a very beloved town. And I cannot say that it is a wonderful town or a beautiful town, but the place is very close to my heart.
Yes. it is close to your heart, or how can be it a modern city when the persons like you are sitting here and living here and trying to promote your city and your culture and trying to relate it from the English literature. So I think this is a blessed city for having the persons like you and others. And my next question will be with you that. Sir, when we managed this interview, so you asked me, are you comfortable with me? Are you comfortable with English medium? You asked with me. So you are a lecturer and you are doing your PhD in English literature. So your question was with me, that are you comfortable with me? So why do we ask with Urdu medium, say, are you comfortable? Why don't we try to make them comfort? Because we are living a culture where Pakistan is struggling hard for developing their English skills and English literature. So why don't we make them comfort instead of asking them that are you comfortable? It
No,
is on a lighter note.
I'm not a kind of person that is some like Anglophile or have some kind of post-colonial ambivalence and like that.
Yes.
I am a student of literature, and I do not believe that any language has prestige and or any language is associated with some kind of social or political advantages. I just asked you because language is just a rule of communication. You do not belong to the medium which where I teach or I write. That's why that was a very general question, and
So
I do not.
don't you think that this is the reason that our community, our Pakistani nation is far much behind, that if someone is speaking slow English, so we say that you can't speak English, you haven't any degree of English, so you cannot be comfortable with us. So why don't we try to
No, I don't
collectively
think that any language or any culture is superior to the other one. I think the language is a
tool?
universal trigger, and
It's a tool.
now English belongs to the most of the world because of that colonial experience. I like English because this is a language of the world's best literature, but I do not feel that any other language is inferior to English, or speaking English gives you some kind of social prestige. I do not, feel very much comfortable in these comparisons. I am in this medium and talking to you in English language, but in our social life, we mostly speak Punjabi or Urdu. So this is just a medium of communication. I do not think so that the English language is, a criteria of social prestige or anything like that.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for giving a lighter comment on this lighter note. So moving to our topic, that is the current trends in Pakistani English novels. So before talking about the current trends in Pakistani English novels, sir, would you like to tell about the modern age trends in Pakistani English novel? So if you would tell something about the modern age, so
Yes.
it will be better to discuss the modern trends.
Yes, Pakistani English literature actually inherited traditions from the subcontinent when the colonizers came here and introduced the genres of literature that were popular in Europe. Some a very small community actually adopted the that language, that culture, and a very few number, they can be counted on your fingertips, they were writing in English language. uh, but with the beginning of 20th century, we see that when Indian English literature was in its infancy, there were some writers like Khaja Ahmad Ali who laid the foundations of Indian English literature. Rabindranath Tagore's work was also, Gitanjali was also translated into English, but that was originally written into Bengali. So
Yeah.
generally, we credit Khaja Ahmad Ali for writing one of the best novels written in English language about Delhi. That was Twilight in Delhi. So Pakistani English novel actually inherited those traditions. in the 50s and 60s, we saw that there were very few writers who were writing in English language, and especially in novel. We saw that Zulfikar Ghosh was writing at that time. We see that only one name was very prominent, and that was continuously bringing English literature in Pakistani audience. That was the name of Bepsi Sidba. She was continuously writing, and she wrote 4 or 5 novels that are equally popular, and those novels are part of our syllabus today. So with the passage of time, as the gaps between the communities were shortened, and there was a larger communication between different communities, between Eastern and Western world, uh, and the readership also increased. But we cannot say that Pakistani English novel got some space in the world literature in 1980s or 1990s. It was the beginning of 21st century when we saw that there emerged some writers like Mohsin Hamid and Kamla Shamsi, who uh, fought that battle bravely and gained some space for the Pakistani English literature, not only in South Asian literature or post-colonial literature, but also made popular Pakistani English novel on the world stage. If I could, I can quote Kamala Shamsi's work like Home Fire, Cartography, Salt and Saffron, and Mohsin Hamid as well. With the Reluctant Fundamentalist, he entered into the world intellectual community, and our novelists or writers are actually addressing the concerns, the global concerns that are linked with the 9/11, that are linked with the war in Syria. And now in the second decade of 20th century, we have a number of writers that are writing, and writing very successfully. People are buying their books, people are writing reviews on their books, and even their works are adopted into the movies, into the dramas. So we can say that now we are in a phase where we are our Pakistani English literature or Pakistani English novel is taking off. Now the we have laid the foundation. We have a very good ground there where many people can enter and and tell their stories and make people read their experiences.
Yes. Sir, can you tell me? You talked about the Mohsin Hamid, and we know that Mohsin Hamid is not the professional writer. He didn't get any degree of literature for writing his novels. So, can you tell me the writers are born or create? Writers are
I,
born or create?
I believe that writer does not actually born from any vacuum. They do not come from nowhere. Actually, they are a product of their age. I don't believe that the writer, maybe there are something natural uh, in the personality of the writer, or something instinctive in the writers, that are the creative urge. But what makes them writer is the condition in which they are living. If we read the literature
Yes.
of the different era, if we read the literature of colonial era when Mirza Ghalib was writing in Urdu, I think if Mirza Ghalib hadn't witnessed the bloodshed of 1857, or Mir Taqi Mir would not have seen the bloodshed of the destruction of Delhi in the days of Nadir Shah Durrani, he would not have written such wonderful poetry. He would not have put all those pathos in his poetry. So I believe that if we look upon the works of Mohsin Hamid was not a professionally trained writer. He was not a student of literature.
Yes.
Actually, his background is of finance. But we see that when he took a turn into his life and wrote The Reluctant Fundamentalist. The Reluctant Fundamentalist was in direct consequence to the 9/11 and the things that happened after the 9/11, and how Muslims suffered, and how there was a clash of cultures, how there was a clash of civilization, and how this political era, political in charge, uh, that era actually influenced the imagination of a writer and he created that story. I don't believe that the writer is something that is born naturally. I think that the circumstances or the conditions or the experience that a writer have in his or her life that makes him or her a writer.
Okay. Wonderful analysis, sir. You told that in conclusion that we can say that the writer are born, but the university and the degree can polish them. If we have a degree of literature,
I think
English literature or any literature, so yes.
I totally believe opposite. I think the conditions are the circumstances. I believe that the conditions are circumstances. Whereas if a writer has to tell the story, the essentials he or she must learn how to communicate. Yes, that is a training. That is a different thing. But I feel that those circumstances, those experiences, those conditions, and actually every writer has to tell some story. Every writer is always present in his or her story. If Mohsen Hamid would not have seen everything in USA, he would not have created the character of Changiz, and he would not have created a story that was very much depicting the true essence of that age in post 9/11 era. And similarly, I believe that if Kamila Shamsi wouldn't have such diverse experiences in her life, the experience of immigration, the experience of class conflicts, we would not have been reading the works like Cartography and Home Fire and Salt and Saffron. So I believe that the circumstances and the conditions are most important in creating any artist, not only a writer but any artist, some painter. If we look upon the works of Salvador Dali in the beginning of 21st century or the Picasso, they were the product of the modern age, the modern experience that was in the beginning of 20th century in the Western world. If they would not have been living in that era, they would not have created such art that was abstract, that was so much symbolic. Uh, I think that the conditions are more important.
Yes, conditions are more important. So, further, can you tell me something about the readership of of the literature and the students? What do you tell about the studentship that more students are coming, number of students are coming in the literature, or they take interest in these subjects, or they feel it's a root subject?
I believe that the readership of English literature, Pakistani English literature, is increasing now. There was a time when I was a student of university, we had a very limited course of Pakistani English literature in Islamic University. And we had a very few writers whose work we could teach or we could read in our syllabus. But in the passage of 10 years, we have a limited a number of choices. In this semester, I took Pakistani English literature with a very deliberate concern, and I had to pick a few writers, five or six, to teach in the class. But I have a very good choice there. I had a number of write novelists there, short story writer. We had a new name, Daniel Mohyuddin, and I was teaching his short story, Nawabdin Electrician. We had more works by Muhammad Hanif. I had to teach the uh, Our Lady of Alice Bhatti by Muhammad Hanif. And one more thing, that I am very much linked with the people who are related to literature. I wrote an article on Pakistani English novel almost a year ago, and that article was published on the Dialogue Times, and almost 10,000 people have read that article. If it means that the readership is increasing, and I was amazed to see that when I wrote that article, there wasn't any significant work on Pakistani English novel at that time. But now I feel that the people are too much interested in reading Pakistani literature. Last night I was watching a show of Umar Shahid Hamid. He's a new addition in a very fine writers of Pakistani English novel. He has published 3 or 4 books now, and he has very diverse taste. his next book, his next novel, Betrayal, is about the story of an Indian spy. That is, I felt that is very much linked to the Kulbhushan Yadav episode on the Iranian border. And like we have Usama Siddiq is writing in English, and he has written a wonderful novel, Snuffing Out the Moon, that is also now has been translated into the Urdu, and it has received unanimous applause from both the readers of English language and Urdu literature. We have Rizwan Akhtar now. Rizwan Akhtar's collection of poetry is published. I was just reading a review by one of my friends who wrote a very fine review on Rizwan Akhtar's poetry. We have Dr. Taimur Kiani in drama. He has published his play. We can find it, his works on the online as well. We have Muazzam Sheikh, who was such a fine writer, but we do not have access to their writings, and there wasn't a public interest. But now with the more connectivity through social media, I feel that these writers will be very much into touch with the people, in touch with the audience, and the readership will definitely be having a lot of addition in it.
Yes, it can be say an innovation that through social media we may bring some innovation in literature. Being a writer,
Yes,
that
sorry
that I am also.
to interrupt you.
Yes, yes.
That the social media has provided the platform to the people who were denied space on the mainstream media. On mainstream media, we see that the people who are sitting in the as anchors, they do not have even enough knowledge of Pakistan. When I see that when they are talking about
Yes.
geopolitics, they are completely naive about that. But on social media, we find
Yes.
that there are people sitting that belong to academia. They have wider understanding, and they have very, very large space there. If we talk about the academia,
Okay.
academia was denied an access in the mainstream media. And in the mainstream media, they were pushing the narrative that does not have hold any ground. But academia wasn't there. There wasn't any historian who was sitting in the mainstream media. There wasn't any academic who can de- deconstruct who could deconstruct the notions or interpret the things with references. We were just having the people who were just reading the papers and the creating a fuss upon mainstream media. They were paid by their bosses. They are taking sides of different political parties. I believe that social media have brought great revolution as far as the academic activities are concerned. I am in touch with some of the best academics. I am talking about literature through social media. If there wasn't a platform of social media, we would not have been in touch. And look at this session. We are in touch. We are communicating and talking about the literature. If there wasn't social media, we could not have got such space to express ourselves.
Okay. Sir, my next question to you about the Pakistani female writers. As you talk about some female writers in your detailed analysis, so can you tell me the Pakistani female writers are successful for depicting the real condition of Pakistani women? As you have read the novel of Tahmina Durrani,
My
Feudal
feudal
Lord.
lord.
So, can you tell me something about that? Are they successful to depict? Yes, are they successful to depict the
Uh,
actual and
okay.
real condition of Pakistani women?
Yes, obviously. I think the contribution of women writers in Pakistani English literature, not only in Pakistani English literature, but I would dare to say in South Asian English literature, is more important than the contribution of male side. If I can count the 10 more significant English novels written in South Asian literature, I believe that five or six novels are written by the Pakistan by the women. There is a Arundhati Rai. we have Kamila Shamsi, we have Bapti Sidhwa, we have Anita Desai, we have Karan Desai, we have Champa Lahiri, we have Fatima Bhutto. In Bangladesh, we have Monica Ali. In Pakistan, you just mentioned Tahmina Durrani. We have Uzma Aslam Khan. We have Bina Shah. So there are a number of and Muniza Shamsi as well, who has written immensely on the history of Pakistani English literature. So I would say that the contribution as women writer is much more and much more important in the condition in which they were living. They produce such wonderful works. As far as the question of the depicting the real condition or the real picture of women in Pakistan or South Asian is concerned, I feel that uh, somehow yes. I have one example like the God of Small Things by Arundhati Rai. She's an Indian writer, but she is also included in South Asian literature. In the God of Small Things, she told us about a story about the lives of a family where the women, children, and the outcast are treated like inhumans. They are subaltern there. They do not have any voice, and that story is full of pathos. That story is actually a heart-wrenching story and tells the history of thousands of years of deprivation, of social inequality, of outcasts, of subalterns. Similarly, in Pakistani English literature, if we read the stories of Bapsi Sidhwa, The Bride is a very good example. The Bride is a story of a woman who was forced to marry a person whom she never liked. He was a Kohistani, and she was raised in some urban area, and then she had to face the consequences. That story is not only the story of that bride. That is the story of many other thousands of women in rural or urban areas of Pakistan. Similarly, we can see if you might have read the works you just mentioned, My Feudal Lord. That is not only the story of Tahmina Dorani. That is the story of many other women who are living in the rural Sindh or rural Punjab or many other places. I think they have depicted the very much true picture of the women that is living in Pakistan. Maybe there is a little difference of viewing things because these writers actually belong to the aristocracy like Tahmina Dorani or to the upper class, like Kamala Shamsi. They might have not lived in the condition in which our lower classes are facing nowadays. And what about the women that is working in the farms, that is working as a laborer? Maybe their concerns or their presence is a little missing. But I think that they have done great job by bringing the stories of women to the audience, to the larger audience. Actually, we can also mention Sharmeen Obaid Chennai, whose works have received international acclaim and international awards. Those awards may be a little controversial in our native country, like the Malala's contribution was actually made controversial in Pakistan, and we are very much apt in making controversies. But I think that they have made a wonderful contribution, and they are continuing to make such immense contribution to promote Pakistanism, Pakistani literature, and Pakistani stories.
Okay. Sir, we have a limited time and we have to ask some more questions rapidly. So my next question to you is, as you know, that world has become a global village. So did globalization impact the world of literature?
Of course, that's a very interesting and very important question. If you talk about Pakistani English literature in a larger domain, it's a subdivision of post-colonial literature, then South Asian literature, then Pakistani English literature. The post-colonial literature, in its episteme, was actually to represent the local stories, the local characters, actually the voice of the colonized world. But with the passage of time, this cultural communication and this globalization have impacted the stories as well. Recently, there was an article by Dr. Zia Ahmed that was a wonderful article, and I personally felt that in the works of Pakistani English novelists, we feel that they are not only limited to the stories of Pakistani people, they have enlarged their canvas. They are bringing the stories that are of global impact, and the global audience is also linked with it. The Reluctant Fundamentalist, that was the story of a person who lived in Lahore, then migrated to USA, working there, and he had an experience of post 9/11 USA. The story wasn't limited in its scope. That story was actually addressing the essence of that age. If we look upon the works of Kamala Shamsi, she is telling us about the war in Syria and how that war impacted the lives of the people that were living in Britain and Pakistan. If we look upon the works of Nadeem Aslam, Maps for Lost Lovers, that story is not limited only to the Pakistani culture or Pakistani community. If we look upon the uh, Blind Man's Garden, that story is about Afghan war. If we look upon the works of uh, Umar Shahid Hamid, very interesting stories he is bringing about. His novels have global concern. The fix is about the match fixing in sports. So we do not say we cannot limit its scope only to Pakistani culture, Pakistani society. Now they have a very large playground where they can exercise their imagination, where they can tell their stories, and they have a larger audience. If you believe me, the Reluctant Fundamentalist has been translated into 22 languages, and it is the part of the elitist universities in the world. Kamala Shamsi is a member of Royal Society of Arts and Literature in UK. Muhammad Hanif's work are also drawing global attention and receiving prizes from throughout the world. Like Mohsen Hamid's work, The Reluctant Fundamentalist, was adopted by a very famous filmmaker, Mira Noir, and that movie received unanimous applause and acclaim from the audience throughout the world. So this globalization is going to change the concept and the point of view towards the reality that we are going to have in our future. We can anyone, any artist, any field of life cannot be alienated, cannot exist in alienation. And this alien, if somebody actually tries to live in alienation, that alienation will actually leads toward the elimination. So we have to live in this world that is global, that is very much interlinked, that is very much connected with each other. There is no space for puritanism. There is no space for extreme nationalism like Nazism. There is no space for fascism. So we have to bring the people closer to each other, and we have to create space for different cultures, their different communities, different ideologies to exist, to mutually exist in an environment that could prosper everyone.
Okay, sir, I am watching. Your friends are following you and want to ask some questions with you, but we haven't much more time. If anyone asks this question to Sir Vachu, so they can write in comments. And sir, would you like to tell something about to your fans? About are you in? Do you keep any intention about to write any novel? Do you want to
Yes,
give to your viewers
I,
something about
I
novel
I
writing?
am working on a book on Pakistani English novel. I just see that Mahmood Safi, he's a wonderful reader. He just asked a question about that, whether if Pakistani diasporic writers have better writing skills than the indigenous writers. So I would like to answer this question. I think that is about the experience. The more complex experience you have, you can create more complex stories. And if you are talking about the Mohsin Hamid or Kamla Shamsi, if we compare them to the writers who are living in in the indigenous world, like Arundhati Rai. Arundhati Rai lived in India. She never shifted to outside India, but she wrote wonderfully, and her novels were wonderful, like God of Small Things and many others. I think the experience is different. If you have a wider experience and you have a, just like we were talking about the globalization, you can create wonderful stories. And but about, if you are talking about the style of writing, or connecting the stories, or connecting the events, or communicating the experience, you need to be an artist to communicate everything. You know, I feel that I always said that Shakespeare had the experience that every one of us had in our life.